Okay, so let's dive in.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're tackling something today that feels genuinely challenging for so many people.
Hmm.
It's not just, hitting a big health goal, but actually maintaining it
For the long
for
haul.
decades, exactly. And our focus is Al Roker, his really remarkable success
Keeping off 100 pounds.
for over 20 years.
Mm.
And he's 70 now.
That time frame, that's really what makes his story stand out, I think.
Yeah.
It goes way beyond the initial transformation. It's about genuine lifestyle change, real resilience,
Right. Losing the weight is one thing.
but keeping it off
Yeah.
through everything life throws at you for 2 decades, that's a whole different ballgame.
Totally. And we're pulling from an article over on Today.
Which itself was based on an interview he did for People's Spring Health Issue.
Right. So our goal here, our mission, is to kind of unpack the real strategies, the principles behind this long-term success.
What can you, listening, actually take away from his approach?
Yeah.
There's something beyond just, a quick fix.
Exactly. And it's important context, we should say.
Yeah, definitely.
His journey kicked off with gastric bypass surgery. That was way back in 2001.
And that led to the initial 100-pound loss, yes.
But like you said, our deep dive is really about what happened next.
The 2 decades since then. What habits did he build? What did he stick with to make that loss stick too?
And straight away, there's this core idea that jumps out, something that flies in the face of a lot of those really restrictive diets.
Moderation.
Yes! His whole approach to food seems centered on moderation.
Which is fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the common thinking is often, you have to deprive yourself constantly to maintain weight loss.
Right. But his main idea, quoted in the source, is basically moderation rather than deprivation is better in the long run. Simple as that.
And they give examples, which I think is helpful.
Yeah, it shows it's real. He still enjoys things like steak, creamed spinach.
Baked potato, even apple crisp with vanilla ice cream.
So it's not this picture of a life where all the enjoyable foods are forbidden forever.
No, and psychologically, that's huge for sticking with something long term. If you tell yourself never again, that's tough. It often leads to feeling restricted and then,
You rebound or just give up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Allowing for those occasional planned enjoyments makes the whole thing feel sustainable, livable, not like you're serving a sentence.
They make so much sense. If you know you can have the apple crisp sometimes, the rest of the plan feels less punishing.
Right. And that same kind of philosophy, that practicality, seems to carry over into how he approaches exercise, too.
Yeah, it's about consistency, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not necessarily hardcore intensity all the time.
His mantra for movement is just brilliant, I think.
Hmm.
So simple. Something is better than nothing.
I love that. It just lowers the bar in a really helpful way.
It shifts the focus, right? Away from feeling like, oh, I have to do this massive workout or it doesn't count.
Yeah, instead it's just about weaving movement into your day, every day.
And he actually have 4 core steps.
Yeah.
Daily steps. They sound almost deceptively simple.
Okay, let's break those down. What are they?
These really show how you can build consistency when you break it down.
So, first up, morning weight training.
Just 10 minutes every morning.
10 minutes, okay.
And he's clear about the why. It's not about getting huge muscles. He says it's not so much to bulk up, but to keep your bones strong, keep your flexibility.
Which is important as you age. Yeah, that makes sense. Bone density, flexibility.
And maintaining muscle mass.
Yeah.
That's so crucial for metabolism, for just being able to move well as you get older.
And I thought the motivation he shared was really relatable.
What was that?
Doing it so he can keep carrying his granddaughter, Sky, as she grows.
Ah, see. That connects the habit to something deeply meaningful.
A clear why.
Exactly. Research shows that having that personal why makes you way more likely to stick with something.
Okay, so that's step 1, 10 minutes of weights. Step 2.
Daily steps. He aims for 10,000 a day.
The classic 10,000.
Yeah. And while that number has its own sort of history.
Right. Wasn't it originally a marketing thing for a pedometer?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's generally accepted now as a pretty decent target for general activity and heart health.
And Roker himself says it's not some rigid rule for him.
Right. He calls it a realistic goal that's achievable and easy to remember. Not a strict benchmark.
And he adds, I like the number, and it feels good when I hit it.
That little psychological boost.
Yeah.
Setting a target, reaching it, feels good.
Yeah. And he gets them in how? Treadmill, walking outside.
Mentions walking in Central Park. Just intentional walking.
Which leads nicely into step 3, which has a great name.
Yeah. Walking snacks.
Walking snacks. It just paints a picture, doesn't it? So what does that mean in practice?
It's basically finding ways to slot in shorter bursts of walking during the workday.
Okay.
He uses walking desks, apparently,
Ah.
and just does loops inside 30 Rock where he works.
Ah, okay. So instead of needing like a solid hour blocked out,
He's finding these little micro opportunities for movement,
sneaking it in, he says simply, you just fit it in.
and that's so effective, isn't it? Because it fights against how sedentary a lot of jobs are now.
Totally. Desk jobs especially.
And all those little bursts add up. It lowers the barrier. Maybe you don't have time for a long walk today, but you can probably find 5 or 10 minutes for a walking snack.
Right. Something is better than nothing. Back to the mantra.
Exactly.
Okay, so weights, steps, walking snacks. What's number 4?
Number 4 brings it back to eating habits. Consistency again, especially starting the day right and cooking his own food.
Okay. Breakfast.
He keeps that pretty consistent. Yogurt, granola, often throws in a banana.
Simple. Sounds good.
And for other meals, particularly dinner, the article highlights that he cooks his own.
Which, again, makes sense. That control factor.
Huge control over ingredients, portion sizes, how it's cooked, all fundamental for managing calories and getting good nutrition.
What are his go-to methods?
He seems to like pan-searing and roasting, often using olive oil.
Roasting. He has a strong opinion on vegetables, apparently.
Huh. Yes. He says any vegetable is better roasted.
Can't argue too much with that, honestly. Roasting does bring out flavor.
And he mentions sheet pan dinners, chicken thighs, fish, things that are practical.
Yeah, not overly complicated. Healthy, flavorful, but fits into a busy life. Consistent home cooking.
So you start to see the whole picture, right?
Yeah.
This framework, yeah.
It's like moderation with the treats.
Consistency with the movement broken down into simple steps.
And control over food through cooking at home.
And the article connects all of this, these sustained habits, directly to how he's handled some serious health challenges recently.
This part really hit home for me. This is where the why bother becomes crystal clear.
He's dealt with prostate cancer, blood clots, gallbladder removal. Pretty major stuff.
And he credits his recovery, his resilience, straight back to the foundation these habits built over the years.
There's a powerful quote in there from his doctor.
Oh, yeah.
His doctor apparently told him, if I had not been in the shape I had been, I would most likely not be here today.
Wow. That just stops you in your tracks, doesn't it?
It really does. It's such a strong validation. This isn't just about looking good or hitting a number on the scale.
It's about the long-term protective power of these consistent habits.
Yeah, those years of moderate eating, regular movement, keeping his heart healthier, maintaining muscle mass. It likely gave his body a much stronger baseline.
To actually withstand those health crises and bounce back.
Precisely. It elevates the conversation beyond just, weight loss goals.
Into fundamental health, longevity, resilience.
Yeah. And it's cool that he's sharing this stuff, too. He's involved with the Start Today wellness app.
Right, as chief motivation officer.
Which just reinforces that he really believes in these, accessible methods. It's not some secret celebrity trick.
Okay, so let's zoom out then. Let's summarize the big takeaways for you listening.
I mean, the core ideas aren't necessarily earth-shattering secrets, are they?
No, but maybe that's the point.
Their power is in the fact that they are sustainable, they're consistent.
Right. So number 1, moderation beats deprivation long term.
Number 2, embrace that something is better than nothing idea for daily movement.
Break activity down, those achievable steps, the walking snacks, make it fit your day.
Don't forget prioritizing functional strength, especially as we age. That 10 minutes of weights.
And finally, taking control of your nutrition. Consistent home cooking makes a huge difference.
These habits, yeah, they seem simple one by one.
But practiced over 2 decades, they've clearly built incredible results for him, both for just daily life.
And for that critical resilience when health challenges hit. It's a really compelling case study in playing the long game with your health.
Yeah, it really underscores that the best health habits aren't the most extreme ones.
They're the ones you can actually keep doing. Day after day, year after year.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's a final thought we want to leave you with. Something to chew on.
Go for it.
How could you apply that something is better than nothing idea or the concept of snacks? Maybe not walking snacks, but other small positive actions. How could you use that to build consistency in another area of your life?
Ooh, good question. Beyond just physical health.
Yeah, like maybe learning a new skill. Or working on relationships, tackling some big project you've been putting off.
Where could you fit in a 5-minute snack of effort today?
Exactly. Just something small but consistent. Think about it.